Done.
Hello everyone, I am Singh, along with my other team members, Ashish Nigam, Vikram Singh Rotela and Paresh Singh from Impulsive Institute of Operations Management are here to represent the case on Walmart's strategy for India. To move ahead, I would like to touch upon the brief history of Walmart. Walmart was founded by Sam Walton in 1962, incorporated on October 31, 1969 and publicly traded on New York Stock Exchange in 1972. It is headquartered in Benton Village, Arkansas. The company progressed and surpassed its rival Kmart in 1990. After 2 years, it surpassed Sears as well. The company also opened its overseas stores entering South America in 1995, with stores in Argentina and Brazil, and in Europe in 1999, and buying Asda in the UK for $10 billion. Globally, the company employs 1.6 million people, and it has more than 6,200 facilities around the world, including 3,800 in the US and 2,800 elsewhere. With regards to the strategy followed by Walmart, it basically relies on hyper-efficient supply chain to offer low prices to customers. Now, I would like to move on to the crucial parts of the presentation. Firstly, I would like to discuss that what brings Walmart to India and why they should do everything to become a retailer in India. As stated, India's retail is estimated at $450 billion. And is continuously growing annually at 5% rate. This is alluring for any company. Also, India has cheap labor, facility, infrastructure, which goes along with the model followed by Walmart. As we know, that Walmart follows an efficient supply chain model, that India is a price-sensitive market. So, Walmart would definitely want to explore our market. India is also an important destination for sourcing Walmart's merchandise. Already, Walmart suppliers in Singapore and Middle East have also expressed their interest in shifting production to India. Products that are basically sourced includes apparel, fine jewelry, home textiles and homeware. Due to depression in US and other developed countries, Walmart is already confronting a saturated market. So, it is important for Walmart to establish presence in emerging markets like India. Indian retail market is also mostly unorganized. So, there is great scope for Walmart to enter in our market. Now, Vikram will take you through the next part of the presentation.
Hello everyone. We've got a very big question here. From India's perspective, should they change their laws to make it easier for foreign retailers to compete in India's market? We'll reach to the answer by answering these questions first. Let's see to the issues which we have in India right now. Why Indian customers are getting products with global standards? Like our foreign counterparts, Indian customers are very much entitled to receive quality goods, produced, processed and handled under acceptable hygienic environment. Apprehensions that small retailers, kirana stores, will be adversely affected are not reason enough to deny millions of consumers access to the products that meet global standards. Moving on to the next question, in intermediaries, are they really adding any value? Presently, intermediaries like procurement, processing, transport and delivery between producers and customers add no value to the products, adding hugely to final cost. By the time product reaches the marketplace via intermediaries, they lose freshness and purity and often go to waste without adding any value. However, intermediaries make huge profits by distributing these losses between producers and consumers by buying products at low prices from producers and selling at extremely marked prices to the consumers. Organized retail enables in-situ processing, scientific handling and quick transport through cold storage chains to the final consumer. This will develop the highly needed back-end infrastructure in cold chain in India. Next big question is creation of jobs. How it is going to do it? Entry of branded retailers will increase the market, generating additional employment in retail and other relevant sectors. Retail jobs don't require higher education and highly specialized abilities. Being a professional, organized retailer will allot some quantity of resources towards training and development of the resources they employ. By making a law that at least 50 to 60% of jobs in the retail outlet could be reserved for local rural youth, and a certain amount of farm produce has to be procured from poor farmers. More employment will be generated in that way. A big example here, which is live in India, is Bharti-Walmart collaboration, which has joined forces with state governments to open training and development centers in Amritsar, Delhi and Bangalore, preparing local youth for jobs in retail. Training classes are entirely free and more than 5,600 local youths have already been trained on that. Coming on to the fourth question, which is it a threat to Kiranas or the local unorganized sector? I don't think so. Because the Indian retail industry, it's a big industry right now. The turnover is $450 billion here, and this is expected to reach $800 billion in 2015. Organized retailing through malls and registered traders, those who have PAN 10 CSC numbers, their market share is only 7%. While unorganized retailing through local kirana shops, general stores, street vendors, and pan-bidi shops, they have 23%. It's a moving number, and they are the major player right now. Then looking at strengths of kirana stores, how organized and unorganized, kirana and unorganized, and they've got a strength, which is location, time, and personalized credit. This convenience can't be matched by any organized sector. Local and unorganized retailers will surely retain a sizable market share. Here I want to say one more thing, that China is a live example where we can see that FDI in retailing did result in closure of local unorganized sectors. China started FDI in retailing in 1992 with a capping of 26%. In 2004, they made it 100%, opening doors to all the big companies of the world. In these 20 years, organized retail has a small market share of 20%, while grocery stores has grown from 1.9 million to 2.5 million. Looking at the last point here, growth opportunities for Indian retailers. Do they have anything if Walmart comes in? Yes, Indian retailers lack deep pockets as investments, and also a lack of in-depth expertise to be on par with global models. Presence of foreign retailers through joint ventures and other means will surely speed up the process of transforming India's retail scenario. After looking at these points, we can very surely say yes, India should pass a law for FDI in multi-brand retail by ensuring the following conditions. First, customers' need for good product. That is, customer must get value for money. Infrastructure development in back-end intermediate operations, logistics, and agricultural processing units must be ensured by the coming investor. Conserving the interest of small retailers by putting up a regulatory body to ensure that the retailing giants doesn't go for predatory pricing strategies, which can result into monopolistic markets and lack of competition in market. Last point here, a minimum percentage of manufactured products to be sourced from small and medium enterprise sectors in India, which will ensure a good FDI retail bill. Next part will be taken care by my friend Ashish.
Hello everyone. Now we'll talk about what makes Walmart successful in the US market. It is more than the world's largest retailer, an economic force and cultural phenomenon. Walmart's philosophy says keep prices as low as possible. This is one of the philosophy on Walmart is working on for last so many decades. Wherever they have territory in any of the country, they provide us the goods to the customer as low price as possible. And in US, prices were lower than other retailers and wider choices of goods than other retailers. Walmart has provided good choices of goods to other retailers compared to Kmart and all these things. And their products are very much competitive, and there is more variety compared to other products of the competitor in the US itself. Shape the labor market globally and change the way the entire industry operates in the US. This is one of the shift in the global labor market of the US. Initially what happens, the US market was not very much labor intensive. After opening this Walmart, what happens? There is a generation of youth employment, large amount of employment, and it includes layman kind of employment as well as skilled employment. So after opening the Walmart store, there is a change in the definition of labor force with the US itself. To continue with the point, there are technological advances in the inventory control. Just Walmart was encouraging day by day like anything in the 1980s. So now there is a requirement of a very good communication system. In the 1980 itself. So what happened in 1983? This Walmart came up with first of its satellite communication system, which was owned by Walmart itself, just to have a better control of the inventory management system, and which really helps a lot because by doing a very good inventory management, they were able to just reduce their stock, they were able to reduce their space, as they were able to make more profit, which they can pass on to the customers. Universal barcode. This concept was first time used by the Walmart. In a universal barcode, what happens? That every whole information can be predicted digitally by the retailer. So now, what retailer can do? He can just having a universal barcode. They can have each and every information, bits and pieces of information from the product itself. So now there is a big shift in the course from manufacturer to retailer. Now retailer is having good control over the product which they are getting from the manufacturer or supplier itself. Then use of radio frequency, RFID, which is called radio frequency identification. This was also first time used by Walmart. This was one of the best innovations used by Walmart. What happens in radio frequency identification? Each and every boxes of pallets which is being received at the warehouses of the Walmart, this can be easily predicted which kind of product is inside that particular box of pallets. So it really helps a lot to Walmart for managing their inventory at the warehouse itself, because earlier days what happens, each and every labor has to just do the scanning manually, which was really a tedious job. After introduction of the RFID, they can easily tell to their laborers that where to put the products. It was totally computerized. During the hand click of the mouse, you can have a sense, you can have an idea of where to put their product, where to load and where to unload their products, which was one of the best innovations done by Walmart in the 90s itself. Accurate forecast demand. As we know that Walmart's business is just working on a very high variety, on a very high SKUs. So whenever the SKUs are very high, so it's a very less chance of error in the demand forecasting. So they were very much up to date in forecasting their demand, because they were each and every nooks and corner of the country. So they were knowing better than other competitors what the customer wants. So they were able to have a very good forecasting of their particular products. Then hyper-efficient supply chain, since they were working on a very large SKUs, and customer whenever wants anything, and they were able to just deliver that product at that point of time. So their supply chain was hyper-efficient, that's for sure. And use of cross-docking logistic techniques. In cross-docking products, what happens? Initially the products were being transported from suppliers teams to Walmart's warehouses. After, as and when the need arises at a Walmart store, that particular products can be transported from their warehouses to the store. So this is one of the best things. This is just like replenishment, one of the best way of replenishment of the inventory. Day by day you can replenish and without any other extra cost. The IT infrastructure, and this is one of the software called MPP, which is called Manufacturing Parallel Processor. This is first time used by Walmart itself, because during the 1980s. Now you can understand a level of IT infrastructure involvement during 1980s by the Walmart. So everything was